This is Mud Crickets.
Hello, this is the after show, and we are handing the reins over to Zach from Jawfane.
Hello, and welcome to the Jabberjaw Podcast, the official podcast of Jawfane. I'm your host, Zachary Cenate, and today I'm talking to Dude Punk veterans, Mud Crickets. How you guys doing today?
Doing great, man.
Candy.
Yeah? So, I'm going to jump right into it. This is some deep cuts. What's your influences of music?
Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Bush, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, Black Sabbath, Seven Dust, Korn, Slipknot.
For me, it's probably Sabbath, Primus, Jane's Addiction.
Boo.
Ooh. Tool definitely, I think, is as far as like the metal side of things. But I'm also big in Fugazi. Okay. MOD, Method of Destruction. That's like probably one of my like early influences. Billy Milano, he's a motherfucker.
Yeah. So what bands did you guys like start playing, like to try to emulate? Was there anything in particular, like not just in Mud Crickets, but in general, is there anything that you guys started out playing, or?
I got a guitar when I was 11, and I kept playing it, and it was a shitty guitar. It was called a Gremlin, man, and my dad pretty much just like, we'll see if he plays it or not, and I kept wearing the motherfucker out. And I got a fucking purple Strat when I was like 12, and I got 13. I get this big half-stack amp from the band End of Existence, a great local band back in the day, and got a keyboard, and then I got a PA. I mean, it's just over the years. Next thing you know, I'm 18 years old, and I'm cutting my first album with a band called Unmarked Blemish with some really great people that were younger than me. I had like two 15-year-old guitarists.
Oh, wow.
16-year-old drummer. I was the old cat in the band. And like Dathan Connor is a well-known name. He's been signed. He plays with Spoken. It's one of the biggest Christian bands there is. Tyler Maniscalco played with Sam Snyder's band. One of his, oh God, I can't remember what they're called. Adelaide. Yeah. Yep. They played, like, they all went on to be really, really great, man. It's just good to come from those roots. But even before that, my first guitar player was Roy Acuff's great-grandson. And he sucked at guitar, but he was Roy Acuff's great-grandson. Oh, no, name no names. It's not that he didn't suck. It's just, you're young kids, 16 years old, just trying to do something to make noise.
Right. So, how did Mud Crickets start? Where'd you guys meet each other at?
Mud Crickets started out of the ashes of a band I was in called One Nation Under Control. We were together for 4 years, and couldn't find a bass player, and I finally found a bass player, and then the drummer bowed out on me, and we were the last two original members at the tail end of that. Joey Bruno was a bass player, and then we met Pauly D, who's been my drummer. It was like December of 2016. We had Joey at bass all the way up till May of COVID, and he, rest in peace, Joey. He's no longer in the band. He got married, and we got Wooly. We happened to do the Deliciously Nothing podcast, episode 32, and then in the middle of us playing the show, Wooly's like, "I want to jam with you guys," and he jumped up, and he's like, "Okay." This guy can play bass. He's just randomly jamming with us. You don't even know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
So it was kind of like a weird thing to happen. He quit, and a week later, Woolie's in the band.
It's crazy. We've gotten quite a
He's got like
reputation.
2 weeks to fill a show to learn all the songs.
Wow.
Yeah. Always rough.
It was a fun ride. It was a gauntlet, but it's probably been about 10 years since I've been playing music, and just to all of a sudden just kind of jump up there and then do the Mud Crickets thing, it was really kind of great to get out there and start playing again, and just kind of...
Because he was so much more serious than we were. We're like, dude, you're just going to have to roll with this, man.
Dude, so
this is like going up and playing with Hendrix. You just got to hang out. You got to hang out for the ride,
Oh,
man.
yeah, for sure.
Like, you just got to hang on.
Well, it took a while before I realized it's like, oh, we're just getting up here and doing shit. They're just like...
There's rules to a song, like when you record it, but then you're just trying to do the best you can at it.
Right, yeah.
You can't go up there and give the perfect
I
performance
feel
every time.
that we're just covering a song that we did. I mean, for the most part, right? I mean, don't you? I mean, there's a point where
you're a cheap, watered-down cover band of yourself.
Exactly. There's a point where you're just going through the motions. It's like there's sometimes like I'm playing the song and then it goes on Copilot, and I forget where the fuck I am in the song. Of course, the alcohol doesn't
Yeah, I've never been in just a true party band. They throw down.
Right.
I'm responsible. I have 3 beers, and I'm good to go. I can always drink after the show.
Right, exactly.
So
I'm the same way.
But these guys, like the drummer, they just fucking get fucked up.
Yeah.
So like the last
they're
show
stuck in the
that we
80s.
did-
They're just fucked up.
The last show
they're
we
true
did,
rock stars.
I remember going on stage, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I brought the bottle on stage with me, and I do not remember getting off stage at all. There's the point where, like I couldn't find the shot glass that I was drinking out of, or maybe it was a solo cup. So I remember at one point I was just drinking from the bottle. I was like, am I in fucking Motley Crue? What the fuck is this?
No drum kit.
Yeah, no drum kit.
Yeah, I've always had a rule where, before the show, I stay completely sober. Like at practice, it's fine. Like, I'll do whatever. But like shows, I stay sober until the end, and then afterwards, when I get home, sure, do whatever.
Go back and enjoy the reap your reward,
The thing is that I don't want to be on stage and not be able to give it my all because I decide to do something that, blurs my judgment.
Yeah.
And I've been, as far as as I guess a public figure is concerned, like I really try to represent myself the best way.
Well, yeah,
and I feel like
nobody wants to be known as the sloppy person.
Exactly.
Everybody can have a bad night, but you don't want that to stick out forever.
Oh yeah, and like I've been in bands with people that like they'll have a beer on stage or they'll drink beforehand, and it's cool and everything. It's fine. It's not for me, and I know that like before Jawfane, we had members of previous bands, and it's like they just kind of do whatever, and they don't really care what everybody else thinks. But it's like if you're going to be on stage, give it your all and, do what you came there to do. Because, yeah, music's fun, music's great and everything like that, but you're also there, somebody new is going to hear your band. And you want to make sure that whatever you bring to the stage is your best night.
Yeah.
Whether it's one person or 1,000 people.
Imagine
right.
being Gigi Allen and all you did was shat your pants on stage.
Exactly. Or that's just, Great analogy, Jesse.
That's right.
Well, the Mud Crickets got a bad reputation before we even started doing like bad shit. I think we just kind of started living up to that reputation. People are expecting us to show up and throw down and fucking get fucked up and drunk and break a fucking bottle in the fucking parking lot, and we just started living that up. They were telling people we were doing it anyway, which we weren't. So there got to a point, especially when we met Justin Daniels. When I first met this
guilty by association.
Dude, we played
once again, these guys get fucked up. I go play my shows sober. Once again.
So meeting Justin Daniels on the rocks, this motherfucker, every show, at one point he was showing up with a duffel bag, and in that duffel bag he had like a bottle of like Maker's Mark or Canadian Mist or something like that. He'd always have like a bag of like fucking Fruit Loops or fucking marshmallows or something. It was fucking weird, but we would always get trashed, and I think we just kind of perpetuated the myth of the Mud Crickets. We just
we don't really party that hard.
Was it the same bag?
I don't know.
Trust me, we don't party as hard as the Chunder Wives.
There's a sorted
Dear
bag
God.
of fuckery.
The Chunder Wives are the party.
There are some partiers, man, and the Chunder Wives, man. God bless them, man. I mean, they throw fucking
Chunder
down.
burger.
They make some great burgers.
Burger.
If you guys ever go to a Chunder show and they're doing like an outdoor gig, man, Chunder burgers.
I love stuff like that. Where like, like with Homemade God, they'll do like, they'll do barbecue and stuff like that. Last time we went, they did barbecue pork and everything. I like it whenever.
I never did like Johnny's pulled pork. I always liked his burgers.
Oh, the burgers are great too. I mean,
I'm joking, Johnny.
no, but just like I like having that kind of homey, kind of feel like you're at home.
Deliciously Nothing did a good job with that too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Little Caesars, the official sponsor of the NFL.
Yeah.
Not an affiliate. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys to the next question here. What are some memorable moments in your band's history so far?
Oh, dude, playing Springwater and like the next day seeing this guy singing to himself while he's pissing and slapping a mud sticker on the window. He had like 4 or 5 videos where he just, every bar would go play, he'd slap a fucking muckery stick. while singing a Mud Cricket song.
And pissing.
And pissing.
And pissing.
We crucified him, yeah, crucified him.
Yeah, I drink a lot. I'm sorry.
That's good. That's a good moment. I guess, hell, fucking Justin Daniels fucking tearing his ACL jumping off the stage a couple years was a pretty good moment.
That was an interesting event.
What led him to do that?
Oh, he was fucked up.
Oh. He was pushed.
It was
Physically or emotionally?
yeah, Bruce Lee tip. It was the first metal fest that Dwayne and Dana Horn put together, July 5th last year.
Oh, wow.
They're good. That's my homies.
Oh, dude,
I'm doing an interview with them next Wednesday.
that and playing at the courthouse on Shovel.
Yeah, the courthouse gig was
Like,
cool.
we
just for the
did
fact
not
that we were
belong,
playing,
man. We did not belong there.
Just the video aspect of us being a political punk band and then playing in front of a courthouse, like on the steps of a courthouse.
Yeah.
That was rad. That was pretty rad.
The only thing could be better is like playing on the roof, maybe. So
Maybe.
I'll settle for the steps,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'd love to play on a roof. That'd be so cool.
like the Beatles back
No,
in the
you'd
day.
be cold.
I don't care.
Cold.
I'm a drummer.
Or hot.
I'm always burning up, man. I had that fan on me the entire time, and it did its justice.
Well,
like
for
I had
reasons
it.
you couldn't turn it up all the
I,
way.
well, I had it pointed to where like it was on my face, but my legs were sweating like crazy.
Yeah.
My socks are so wet right now. That's a little TMI, but
I kept going
They'll be
over to the
crunchy
window
later.
unit in between songs.
yeah.
Oh, we'd be
No
dead.
matter-
We'd
no
be
matter-
dead if it went for that window unit.
Exactly.
God
matter-
bless you, Wooly,
Oh,
and your
yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Shout out to the window unit.
Shout out to window unit. No matter what you try to do to cool off a room, whenever it comes to live music, there's
When
always
you get everybody in here and
Yeah,
everyone's
everybody's
putting off their
breathing.
own heat.
Doors
Yeah.
opening every
Yeah,
2 or
it
3
doesn't
minutes.
matter.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
I remember, so I was in a band back in 2010 called Embrace the Empire, and we were signed to a label and all that stuff. We were signed to Red Chord Records, and we played this show in Savannah, Georgia. I lived in Florida at the time, all the way up until I was 19. But we played this show in Savannah, Georgia, and it was at this pizzeria. It's called Sweet Melissa's, and you'd have the regular pizzeria bar, you'd have your pizza and all that shit. But then you go to the basement, and she turned the basement into a venue.
Wow.
And it was all brick and everything, hot as fuck. And
she's double dipping.
dude,
She's getting paid
and
both
whenever-
ways.
Then the cool thing is that if you were a band playing that night, you would get free pizza from
Yeah.
upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, a major incentive to be in the heat is, hey, I get free pizza.
We just gotta survive it.
Yeah, you just gotta survive. you get like a T-shirt. I played this
The one
show and
shot.
all I got was this stupid T-shirt.
Yeah. I ate this
Shout
big
out to Sweet
gigantic
Melissa's if they're
steak.
still around. And speaking of venues and stuff like that, what are some venues or cities that you guys like to play?
I like to do things with Dwayne with the game store. It's fucking cool. Help me.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgic.
So,
Yeah.
like, we just got through doing this thing. We partnered up with Dwayne at Malice, and we did
haunted attraction in Belfast.
And we did our 12-act show. We do a couple festivals a year. We did this one at Malice. We're gonna do another one in Shelbyville. But doing these gigs have been really cool. It is a gauntlet when you got 12 different acts, 12 different hours,
Yes.
through the day,
Yeah.
and you've got to manage that. And we took a lot for granted this last one. I think we all got a case of fucking alcohol poisoning and sun poisoning. I know the next day I was wrecked. I was peeling for the next.
And we even like started out. We were there all day at like 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we were already decided not to drink till like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we still got alcohol poisoning.
I
and sun
started
poisoning.
drinking 30 minutes before we went on stage.
Yeah.
And I don't remember getting off stage.
That's
we
got
have
a lot to do with the
30-minute
sun.
set.
That's a lot to
we
do
have
with
a
the sun.
30-minute set. So like within an hour, I got so shit-faced that I don't remember coming off stage.
Wow.
Yeah. But we did a lot of cool things. We got high in the haunted house. We snuck in the back and.
He
went
did.
to
I
the-
didn't know what I'm talking about.
Nah, whatever. So, man, it was great. I mean, it was just a cool experience. What they got out there is cool
Yeah.
for what it is. But it really has to be, like, people getting out there to make it really what it should be.
Yeah.
And right now, people just aren't really getting out there into these gigs, especially going further out. when you're asking people who are living in Nashville to come out to Lewisburg or Shelbyville or Tullahoma, it's really hard. Clarksville.
Yeah.
I would love to get out to
They
Clarksville.
lost their main thing, man. Warehouse
The
shutting
warehouse.
down, man.
But it's a 2-hour drive from Nashville, which means then you got a 2-hour drive back, which you're going to be fucking half lit, half drunk, tired as fuck. And I mean, I'm an old man. I'm 50 years old, man. I got to decide, man, am I going to be able to? I don't know if I could physically have the stamina to make that drive to Clarksville and back.
Okay.
And I would love to. I'd love to show my support to these bands, but fuck, man.
So, with that in mind, do you think that Mud Crickets is just kind of staying local, or do you guys want to venture out, or do you think?
No, we
Yeah,
do
it's
everywhere.
you
We
got
do
you got
everywhere.
to always. We'll play wherever anybody asks us to, but it's mainly just Middle Tennessee. Like I'm not wasting my money going to Atlanta and nobody knows me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Would you want to get to that
To get
point?
14 likes on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I was a younger man that ain't been doing this for this, I don't know, the last fucking 20 years, trying to do that.
But see, that's the
it's-
thing. You would have to have the initiative of having some type of pay.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
especially in this day and age where we're
we do
looking
it
at
for fun, man.
$5 a
I'm an
fucking
engineer
gallon.
by day, man. I fucking
Yeah, so if we're putting any money into it more than we're going to get back from it, it doesn't balance out to the point where, like, yeah, we would love to play with so-and-so in so-and-so area, but, okay, so we got to get down there. We got to get back. We're
Right.
probably, if it's a late-night thing, we may get a room there. We probably won't drive back. And all of that, gas, room, food, all of that, it's a cost.
it's a big risk, and I respect the bands that do it and they burn themselves out and go broke.
Right.
But you've got to win your local area, and if somebody wants you to come to Lexington, Kentucky, and pay you $300, then you go. I mean, you can't
Well, that's another
you can't
thing.
just
You
keep
have
going
to
out and
win your
spending
local
$300
area.
to go to Lexington, Kentucky to play.
I think the reason why a lot of bands in Nashville don't make it so far is because of the fact that they're not winning over their fan base here locally, and they want to automatically branch out. And it's like, we've been a band for a little over a year now, and we're still playing Nashville, Clarksville, we'll get invited to Shelbyville. It's like, you got to make sure that your hometown fan base is all about it before you go out and venture into the world, because you might have like a couple people in Atlanta that might show up. You might have a couple people in Louisville that
But
might
that's
show
what
up.
it is. That you have to have
Yeah.
an audience. You have to
Right.
build your audience. So
Exactly.
if
You
your
have to make it
audience
worth
doesn't, if your audience isn't local, that can actually follow you out and snowball into these other areas and build a bigger audience and continue to build. If you're like, if you don't have your own hometown audience, and then all of a sudden you're telling people that you want to do a European tour or something like that, you're already in the wrong headspace for
Right.
what you want
Yes.
to do. Yeah.
Like a band like Arms Light Buried, they have built themselves up to the point now to where they are going on bigger tours.
Dude, they got
and they did it by
Spotify listeners.
and they did that by they did it you gotta win your state. Every wise man's ever told me in music, you gotta win your state. You're wasting your time if you want to go down and do a Florida tour, and you can do it. You can book it and go, and you can waste all the money in the world. It's like, if you want to make $1 million in the music industry, you better have $2 million.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yeah. And it's
You gotta build your local area, have fan
You're not gonna
support
make
that buys
money
your
unless you
merch.
sell merch. That's the main thing.
gotta
You
sell
know, if you're
merch.
Selling
Yeah.
T-shirts, you're not making any
That's
money.
that's the
Merch
biggest.
is the only revenue we
It
have.
is the only
Yeah.
one. You're not going to make any money selling music. That shit is gone.
And venues don't really pay much anymore.
Yeah.
If anything.
If
They're going to give
anything.
you a cut at the door,
If
and that
anything.
only depends if the people are going to show up. I would love to throw on a fucking show and promise every band that they're going to make so-and-so money.
Yeah.
But if those motherfuckers don't bring their audience, if there's no one coming through that door, how are you going to get paid?
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. You've got to have that.
And that's a lot of things. If you go on tours, then places will sell that to you too. They're like, oh, we want a band from Nashville. Oh, we'll give you a guarantee. We'll give you $100. All right, so you get there, nobody's there. Guess what? You ain't getting $100. They're not just going to give you $100,
Right.
Unless they made $1,000.
Right.
I mean, that's just they won't keep their doors open, but they'll lie to you though.
There's a
They will
lot.
fucking lie to you.
The way the industry now is, especially when it comes to the local scene, I know that we've preached ever since we've started that we are fully DIY. I mean, really, every band that's coming up right now, they're forced to do it DIY because there's no other way right now. Like back in the early 2000s, yeah, sure, you play you play in front of the right people and bam, you're in.
Yep.
Those people aren't around anymore.
Nope.
You have to do the networking, you have to do the distribution, the merch, you have to do all of these things.
You are your own record label.
You have, and yeah.
You don't got no
you have
record
to be-
support. You're your own record label.
You have to be your own business and everything, and that's, Jawfane's trying to get an LLC. That way we can get a loan out for a van. That way we can start venturing out here in the next year or two. And it's like
Only play for guarantees, though.
yeah, exactly.
Just make them sign contracts.
Exactly. And it's like being a business. That's more of a reason to have those type of things as a guarantee, because it's like if you're looking at 4 30-year-old punks who are just trying to play alternative rock music in, I don't know, Louisville, Kentucky, you're gonna have to pay your dues, and you're gonna have to get yourself to a point where like they look at you seriously. And a lot of bands nowadays are dying out because they're losing that drive.
Well, also, it's hard enough just being a band and getting along and staying together. That's the hard part. Everything is great. Everything is great in that tweeter page. When you're tweeter pated, you're first getting together and you're making the best music you ever made in your life. That's the greatest feeling. But it's like it's a relationship, man.
Oh yeah.
It's eventually things go vanilla and somebody says, "Strike two, motherfucker," and or I don't want to jam with him no more. And it's a hard thing to balance, man.
Yeah, it's been easy for us because Jawfane, we literally are a family. We break bread together. We just went on vacation together, like all of us.
Which was fantastic.
And it's so great. We went to the
It
mountains.
was majestic.
We went to the Smoky Mountains in Gatlinburg, and we rented this cabin for like $1,800, and
we were like
it was
50 feet away from a cliff.
Yeah, and we
This
saw black
giant
bears
mountain.
running around and everything.
Oh,
Dude,
shit.
it's like,
You guys saw black bears.
Don't feed the
around.
bears.
I went to the bathroom and came back, which took all of like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And everyone on vacation saw a black bear just walk by the front window.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
But I mean, it's stuff like that where like, if you're gonna be in a band, that's kind of the format that it has to be, because I don't know about the younger crowd like Dystopian and stuff like that, but for us older people, like I'm about to be 30 this year. Paul's in his 30s. Corey's almost, what is he, 35 now? Yeah, he just turned 35. So it's like this isn't just a hobby. This is like, if we're gonna do something musically, this is it. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah,
We're
to
in it
the
to win
grave.
it.
So it's like, we got.
Well, then go on tour then. Yeah.
We got to make and bands like you guys and other bands in the local scene.
I've heard of bands doing it. The ones that really do it, they go on their tour. They set their dates. They go to a certain bar, a certain place.
Yeah.
They go there and they fucking rock the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah.
And then the word spreads. A year later they come back, the fucker's packed. Because, oh shit, Thelma and the Sleeves are coming back.
Right.
Or, oh shit, like really great, these local bands, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You got to take the risks. You're going to go in the hole, but it's still, that's that ultimate risk, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I respect any band that does it, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, be careful at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You can burn yourselves out to where you don't like each other no more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, there's instances of that on a small level. It's all a matter of, how much you can tolerate this group of people and like how dedicated you are to doing your craft. And, if you have the right people in your corner, and not just like people that can get you on a big show or somebody that can get you networked with this person. Just like the other side of it is having fun while you do it. If you're not having fun, there's no reason why you should be doing it.
Exactly.
That's the main thing.
And,
You have to have
if I'm
fun.
not
I have a
having
blast
fun,
every time I jam with this guy over here.
Yeah.
I have a blast every time I do a DMP show.
Yeah.
As far as the Muggers go, we played more shows last year than we ever played. We played 20-something shows while doing DMP, about 35 episodes. We got literally burnt out.
Yeah.
Like, I was driving to work after sleeping 8 hours and falling asleep,
Yeah.
going to work. He was doing the same thing, man. Like, we were just...
On
It was
4 hours,
like,
by the
it's
way.
just 7 days a week, it seems like, man.
Yeah.
So this year, this is our recording year. We've only planned on doing 2 shows. We've turned down shows.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't jumped on bills we could have got on, just by friends that are needing the band. And it's just, we're just kind of laying back this year, really, as far as the Muggers go.
Yeah. Well, is there anything that you guys want to plug before we wrap this up, or you guys got anything?
Well, we
going
got
on?
our next gig, and only gig of this year, looks like, is Hellfest, which is October.
We'll pick up some
29th.
randoms here and there.
Yeah. So we got Hellfest, which is going to be in Shelbyville. That's going to be a DMP GSM production. 12 acts, $10. Come on out, check us out.
Okay.
That's right.
Will do.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys once again. Thank you, Mud Crickets, for joining me on this episode of Jabberjaw Podcast. If you are a business and you'd like to sponsor us, all inquiries, booking, and anything else can be directed to jawfane@gmail.com. Once again, we thank you for listening and tune in for the next one. Please hit the bell on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, rate us on Apple Music, or wherever you find Jabberjaw. And also, check out Mud Crickets, follow them, check out Deliciously Nothing Podcast. You can follow them on YouTube and all that stuff. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys in the next one.